On behalf of the City of St. Paul and the St. Paul Saints and everybody affiliated with the construction of the new ballpark, we're very excited for today. Yet again, another milestone date for the project. The last time this group gathered, we were actually up in the market house looking down. Now we're down here looking up. So what's exciting to be down here for all of you is really to get some of the view of being on the playing field and looking back toward the skyline and what the Saints are going to be seeing when they're playing baseball here in 2015. In general, where we're headed with construction, we're going to be working in a counterclockwise manner, starting with our footings and foundations. The area we're in right here right now is really part of the underground structure where the St. Paul Saints office will be located. That's where the locker rooms will be located. And then you'll have the precast seating risers that go up to grade. You can see we're standing right in front of 5th Street right now. When you come in off of 5th Street, you'll be walking in at the plaza elevation, which is the same as our concourse elevation. And our concourse will go all the way around the ball field. For the concrete work, we'll get areas A and B done first. Then we're going to come back over into here where we've got some footings and foundations that'll be at a higher elevation. And that's all in preparation for the masonry work that will start in early May. Our concrete crews will continue to work counterclockwise. And then we're going to bring our precast contractor, Hanson Precast, in. And they'll start with putting some precast roof panels on top of, it's called building number 5. It's one of our concession buildings. Or excuse me, building number 4, yeah. Then they'll move into the hot and heavy area to set the columns and beams in preparation for the plank at the plaza level. And then Bob, we're going to have structural steel starting in early July. So there becomes a sequence that we need to get through with masonry and the concrete and the precast and the steel so that they can all work together and not get in each other's way. So as the precast moves counterclockwise, structural steel will actually come in and start to set up for the suite level construction, and they'll follow the precast. And then the precast is actually going to go back behind, and there's precast plank that goes on top of the structural steel. And once that precast is set, the structural steel will go back and set the final roof level of the steel. So that's really going to be the main activity for summer construction. The ball field itself, the playing field, will start to go in early September, and that'll wrap up in late September. And at that time, we don't want any other construction equipment on the field so that we can protect the grass. And then we'll be doing finishes inside the building throughout the rest of winter. And the ballpark, as far as we're concerned, is really done in late February. After that time, we'll be doing commissioning of the mechanical and electrical systems. Are there any other specific questions that anyone might have?
We're just talking a few months. I mean, it really doesn't take a whole lot. Once you start going, it goes up pretty quick.
Yeah, and just for everybody to understand, we always refer to this as a ballpark. This isn't the Twin Stadium. We're not trying to compete with that. It's a much smaller facility, so that's what allows us to be a little bit more nimble and move a little bit more quickly.
Can you talk about the rotation again? So obviously the footings today, and then just can you give us kind of just a brief outline?
Sure.
Of that one more time?
Yeah, again, footings and foundations go in first. Precast will be the next major component. And actually, masonry is going to start to work with precast as well, because some of the structure is supported by masonry and some of it's supported by precast. And it's going to alternate, right? And it's all choreographed, if you will. And that process actually started during the bidding phase, knowing what that sequence and the schedule needed to be based on what Bob was thinking. Working with shop drawings. The shop drawings are what allows these people to fabricate the product that they're going to bring in so we can install it. All that has to be choreographed very well so that we don't stumble out in the field. Everything will go like clockwork.
I have a gift for you. for the stress that the Saints cause you. It's a Ryan Saints stress ball, so thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
We're grateful.
Yep.
And you, dear sir, for all your hard work and your crew.
Cool.
All right, thank you so much. We're really grateful to you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Annie.
So stages, obviously, counterclockwise stages here, pouring concrete, precast concrete, steel work, and then more precast coming after the steel work, kind of all working in this direction.
Correct.
Okay, so like you said, kind of choreographed, making sure that something's happening all the time, right?
Absolutely, and then really what happens is the east entrance to the ball field is where everybody works their way back out, and that includes precast and masonry and steel.
So the playing surface will be grass, right?
Natural turf, yep.
Anything kind of super scientific or anything fun about that? I know you said you're not doing Twins Ballpark, but they made a big deal about their water collection system and all that stuff.
Right, so
kind of cool going down there.
Sure. The question had to do with the playing field. Is there anything special about the playing field? It's a sand-based sod that we're using. A little bit more durable for the type of activity that's going to be happening. What's different about that, you have a 12-inch root zone of a special soil mix that helps support the growth, and that requires quite a bit of water. But we do have an underfield drainage system that really helps to retain the moisture down where you want it at the root level so that we're not wasting water.
So you'll be laying sod when, right before winter, right? So it has all winter?
It'll be toward the end of September. Okay. So it'll actually have a good probably 4 months of growth before it goes dormant. And then in the spring, before the Saints really even start, that grass will have probably another 2 or 3 weeks where it's revitalizing itself and coming back to life.
We're talking about the maintenance facility before someone set our mics on it. How does that work into the play? Is that a home run? Are we calling it the Gray Monster?
I don't think there's been any term like that developed yet, but we'll see as time goes on. Yeah, I think really what's going to be unique about this whole ballpark is just the whole experience, and that's one part of the experience.
That doesn't interfere with the play of the ball?
No, it doesn't. It's about 310 feet, I think, to that wall. And it'll be a high wall where the concourse level will be about 16 feet above the playing field level. And again, one of the neat, unique features of this 360-degree concourse, spectators can sit and kind of stand up there and watch the game from a different perspective. When that gets boring, they can go back to their seat or grab something from the concession and socialize with other folks.
No matter where, you can see the snow.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. This was special order for today, yeah.
Madonna will sit in it, warm it up for you.
In a general sense, everything's moving just as planned so far?
Yeah. We're on schedule. Yeah, we hope to have a gentler spring, if you will, but this site is actually, it's a sandy site. We're through most of the contaminated soil, so we really don't have any issues with that anymore. And just as you stand here, if we get a lot of rain, this site will absorb that water very well, and it shouldn't slow us down.
Can you talk a little bit though about that schedule? Because it seems to me it's you guys are pretty tight on this. I mean, any kind of delays or anything that happen now, could that, jeopardize the opening of the ballpark on time?
That could happen. I can't look into a crystal ball and predict what that would be, but our goal all along has always been to be ahead of the Vikings Stadium. We all draw from the same pool of subcontractors. And again, because the ballpark is a smaller facility, we'll be able to get all our materials on site and in place quicker than the Vikings Stadium. And again, that's important for us and it's important for them, again, because we all share that same resource pool of subcontractors. So right now, to date, all the subcontractors we've brought on board are able to meet our schedule.
All right,
Thanks, everybody.